Hey everyone, welcome back to Grow Roots. This is Shannon and I wanted to give you a winter sowing update. So I am in North Texas on the border of zone 8A, 8B, and this is the first week of February. We have had a period of about 7 to 10 days of fall spring. So we've had some warm temperatures in the 70s, and even today up to it was 87 today, y'all. But a cold front is moving through right now. It's about to be winter again. This next week is going to get colder, but truly not like super wintry storm cold. It's just going to be in the 40s and the 50s as highs, and then drop down into the 30s as lows. We might get into the 20s one night this next week, which that's where I'm kind of like, eee. So what fall spring has done to these winter sown jugs is it has created growth in almost every single one of them. And I'm going to show you, I've honestly been winter sowing kind of a little bit at a time. I started on, and then a few days later I started on January 18th. So I had to have been like January 15th probably when I started. January 18th there were some new jugs. January, I think I have jugs from January 30th here. I have I have some jugs that I just did yesterday. So I'm kind of going as I go along, and then as we get closer, probably in the next few weeks, probably closer to March, I will start winter sowing my warm annuals. So I could do zinnias or direct sow them if I wait till after frost, but I'm gonna winter sow. I'm gonna try everything this year and see how it goes. But a little bit before, a couple weeks before our last frost is when I can start those warm annuals, and they should probably be fine. Zinnias and let's see, I'm blanking all of the other things, but I have a lot of them. Coleus and Billy Buttons and a whole bunch of other things. But for right now, I've mainly got perennials and cool season annuals, with the exception of this jug right here. This big one is actually an animal cracker jug, and long story short, it's got 4 different little containers inside of it, and this is my experimentation one. So I actually sowed this on January 22nd, and it has 4 things in it, and they're warm season annuals. I wanted to do an experiment. I wanted to see what would happen if I winter sowed the warm season annuals along with the perennials and the cool season annuals as well, just to see what happened. And so I have Tithonia, which is Mexican sunflower, in here. I have State Farm zinnias, I have Cactus Mix zinnias, and I have Pinwheel Mix zinnias as well. And all of them have sprouted. It's because of our fall spring. They feel the warmth and they are ready. And so we will see what happens in this next coming week with a couple of different freezes that we will experience, and one where it might get into the 20s. So the one that will get into the 20s, it's just going to be for a couple of hours, I think. And I can cover these with like a frost cloth and then see what happens there. Or if y'all want to, I'll just leave it. The reason that I chose these things is because I have an abundance of seeds for those particular varieties. So it's totally okay if I lose them. That's why I call it the experimentation jug. If they all fail, then I know not to do that next time. But I just really wanted to see what would happen. And so that's kind of fun. I'll do all the rest of my zinnias and more Tithonia in probably late February, I think, is when I'm going to start those. A lot of people say early March. I'm going to try late February. I think, honestly, spring has kicked off. The garden is waking up right now. And fall, spring or not, like, I think things really are assuming that it is springtime. We may have a little bit of cold in this next week, but it's not extreme cold, and it's not snow or anything like that. Who knows? We may get a snowstorm on St. Patrick's Day like we did quite a few years ago. I think that was 15 years ago that happened. I mean, it can happen, but anyway, I'm going to assume that for the most part, we're almost done. But Okay, so here is an update. It's actually 4 days after I filmed. Today is February 12th, and it's tonight that is supposed to get into the 20s. I've kind of been watching the weather forecast and trying to see, is it going to change? Is it still supposed to be so cold? And it got a little colder. So tonight is supposed to get down to 24 degrees. It's going to be below freezing from 10 o'clock tonight until at least 10 or 11 tomorrow morning. So we will get a hard freeze tonight. It's supposed to get below freezing tomorrow night, and then this Friday and Saturday, so 4 or 5 days from now, we're dipping down into the 20s again, into the mid 20s, maybe even one night in 22, Friday and Saturday. And then next week, so 1 week from today, they are actually thinking there's a chance of snow. Very small chance, and again, it's going to be very similar temperatures. The overnight lows in the 20s, and then the daytime lows in the 40s. All of that being said, I've been contemplating what to do with these guys, because my winter sowing jugs, as I've shown you, they have all but 3 have germinated. They have sprouted. Some of them are on their first set of true leaves. Some of them I think are even maybe on their second set of true leaves. Some of them are just barely popping out. So all stages of little tiny baby seedlings. So the choice is either to leave them outside, trust the process of winter sowing, and cover them up with a frost cloth or maybe a flannel sheet, or a wool blanket if I have one, or do I take them inside for the nights that are going to get down into the 20s just in case? So I wanted to let you know that what I have decided to do is to trust the process of winter sowing. The whole reason that a lot of this is zinnias and Tithonia. The whole reason I did this was just to see, can I do it early and will they survive? And if I take them inside when it gets cold, then that's not really trusting the process, right? And all of these other ones, these are cold hardy annuals, and these are perennials, mostly native perennials as well. So they probably will be okay. And if I lose some, I lose some. It's totally okay. I have more seeds of almost everything that I winter sowed. Maybe not a whole lot of more seeds, but I can still start some more if I need to. So we're going to do an experimentation and get ready for a follow-up video to see how everything does after nights dip down into the early to mid 20s. Let's see if they survive and see how the winter sowing process, does it really work that way and work with the extreme fluctuations of temperatures that we have here in North Texas, or did I learn something? So stay tuned for that, and I just wanted to let you know what that update is. Anyway, let me show you these jugs and show you the growth. There are 3 things, and they were some of the original 3 things that I winter sowed that still have not sprouted, but everything else here has sprouted already. So that's super exciting. Let me show you. Okay, so experimentation jug. I don't know if I can get you guys to see that, but here, we'll look on the side here. There you can see that right there is State Farm zinnias. Those are my Tithonia right there. Back here, right here. That is the pinwheel mix. They're smaller, the pinwheel mix zinnias. And then right over there, let me see a better view there. Sorry, y'all. Getting used to this, but cactus mix zinnia is there. So everything has sprouted. That cactus mix zinnia is actually my own seed that I grew cactus mix last season, and I collected the seeds from my favorite ones, and so that is what that is that you see. So that's that. Let's start with the ones that I did first, and first one is hollyhock. This was also the first one to germinate for me. These have been growing for probably not a couple weeks, but probably, there you go. Oh my goodness, don't those look so awesome? I'm so excited about that. They will not flower for me this year, but I am excited to see if I can get hollyhock to grow in my garden. That will be fun. This one is one that I sowed at the same time around January 15th. Balloon flower. These are my own seeds that I collected. Balloon flower has proven to be a little bit difficult for me, and I know you guys see some green, but honestly that green is kind of you know, the goodness, I'm blanking on the white stuff that's in the soil that helps to keep moisture and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, it's kind of turning mossy or mildewy, but the blanket flower or the balloon flower just has not quite sprouted yet, although it almost looks like it. Anyway, it is a little bit tough to grow from seed. I have grown it 2 years in a row. The past 2 years, I was able to get like 2 or 3 successful ones my first year out of many, many, many. And then I was unsuccessful last year. So anyway, larkspur is another one that I did at the same time. There it goes. So that larkspur is kaleidoscope mix, and it's coming along nicely as well. And then another one that I planted about mid-January was bergamot, and this is another one that is not sprouting. Again, any green that you see, that's just the white stuff in the soil that's kind of turning mossy from the moisture. Alyssum gold dust was also at the same time, and look at those. Actually, I think these were before hollyhock. I know I said hollyhock was first, but I'm pretty sure these were first, and they're doing fantastic. That's Alyssum gold dust. Let's see. Oh, foxglove was another one that I planted about mid-January, and this is another one that, let's see, I think I have a couple seedlings in there now, just today. So it's taken a long time for my foxglove, but I think I've got one over there, if you can see it. I don't think those are the white things. I think I've got seedlings coming up. So that's super exciting. I'm glad about that. So, because I really, really wanted foxglove. It's not a very particular variety. It was just a general seed packet that I got for free that said foxglove. So no idea what variety that is. That'll be kind of fun. But that is was sown mid-January, and it's like February 8th today. So that took quite a while to germinate, but it's there. Yarrow is here, a summer pastels yarrow. There we go. Those are doing really, really good. I think I sowed these January 18th or January 22nd. And then I have Rudbeckia that was sown January 18th, and it is doing fabulous. Then I have, let's see, any other, yeah, Alyssum Rosie O'Day was sown January 18th. And those are doing really well. And then I have January 22nd, I did a mix of Sweet William and Forget-Me-Nots. And look at them. Oh, you can see that there's a little cardboard divider. And the one that is like tons of them, that's Sweet William, because those seeds are super tiny. I just sprinkled them on the top, and I probably went a little overboard. But that's okay with winter snowing. And then the other side on the left, that is Forget-Me-Nots. So that was my first batch of Forget-Me-Nots. I have many of them because I will be planting them all in part shade areas of my garden this year. Then going on to the January 30th batch, I planted Candy Tuft, which I'm super excited about. I don't remember the variety. I did write it down at some point. It's like a pink variety of Candy Tuft. Or multicolored, I don't remember. I think it's written down on a little label in there. But they are doing pretty good. Also on January 30th was my second batch of Forget-Me-Nots, and I did 2 gallons of these. I really want a lot of Forget-Me-Nots. I did probably a little too much, but I can give them away too. And I have a lot of part shade areas that used to be full sun, so I'm trying to find a lot more part shade type of plants, and I'm going to fill in a lot of spaces with the Forget-Me-Nots, so that'll be fun. And then really just yesterday, I did Columbine double mixed. It's not germinated yet. Here I've got Coreopsis Incredible Swirl. This is the most beautiful Coreopsis, and it was just planted yesterday, so nothing there. And then I have 2 more right here, and I'm just going to be adding more. Bear, that's enough. He is barking. My dog Bear is barking at the garden cat, Chloe. So no, she is not gonna play with you. You need to stop, okay? Leave her alone. Here I got bok choy, baby milk bok choy. This was a free seed packet I ordered from Baker's Creek and just got them a couple days ago. And yeah, they gave me a free bok choy, which I thought was super, super fun. Why not? And actually I found out they're part shade, and the foliage looks really, really, really pretty. I'll pop a picture on the screen for you. And I think that they'll look really beautiful just grown like ornamentally. If we want to pick them and eat them, we can, but I also think they can be grown in the garden and they'll be really pretty. And then here is something I'm super excited about. I'm gonna do a video about this, but my Tangerine Beauty Crossvine gave me seed pods. And so this is it finished its second growth season, and that's when it gave me seed pods. So I had to look up, I'll show you guys in a video, but harvesting them is a little bit interesting because there seems to be 2 types of seeds inside the seed pods. And yeah, so I did both. But I planted these honestly today, this morning. So obviously there's not going to be any growth in there. Like, there you go. But you can see those brown things. Those are the potential, like, actual seeds. But inside there, it feels like seeds. But what I've seen on the internet, like, you use those brown things as the seeds and plant those. But as the seed pod broke open as well, smaller seeds fell out. And so I feel like there's those 2 types of seeds, and I don't know which is viable. Maybe both are viable. Because, you know, things like zinnias, for instance, have 2 types of seed structures. They have like a longer seed and then an arrowhead shaped seed. And so maybe Tangerine Beauty Crossvine is kind of the same. It has those brown paper like things, and then it also has small, really tiny black seeds as well. So the black seeds are planted in the center of this jug, and the paper like seeds are planted on the corners of this jug. So just, this is really for me so that I know. And then we'll be able to find out what germinated and what didn't, if I get germination at all, because this is the very first seed pod that it's given me. This is from 2 different seed pods, I think. And I have a few more that I'm going to do a film, you know, I'm going to film it, show you guys what they look like, how to pick them, how to take the seeds out, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I figured it would be a perfect time to winter sow it. It's a perennial vine. Now's the time to plant the seeds for perennial things. And so winter sowing anyway. It'd probably be fine direct sowing, maybe even 2, but this is a great way to get them to germinate. So yeah, I'll be adding a lot more as we go on, but that is my winter sowing collection and update as of February 8th, 2025. Can't wait to see what all happens, and thank you very much for joining me. Let me know what you are winter sowing and what region you're in, and how that's going for you, if you've got seedlings already, or maybe you're in a colder climate and nothing has germinated yet. It's okay, it will. But yeah, let me know in the comments, what are you winter sowing, or maybe you're starting seeds indoors. Tell me how that's going and we'll compare notes, okay? Thanks to y'all for watching. I hope you have a fabulous day. Bye-bye, everybody.